Hello friends, Bobby Spellman here for Spellman Music Studios. In this episode, I'd like to talk about how to tune your trumpet, intonation, and the various environmental factors that will affect the tuning of the instrument. Now, before we talk about tuning the instrument itself, I'd like to address the unsung hero of intonation, your air support. Before you can really get the trumpet in tune, you want to make sure that you've got a consistent airstream and that you've got a focused embouchure and that the tone itself is going to be consistent, straight, that you can keep it in tune by itself. That's as opposed to, if you're wavering, the tuning slide on the instrument isn't going to help at all if the tone isn't consistent in the first place. Okay, with that out of the way, let's talk about the tuning slide. So, every trumpet has a tuning slide at the end of the lead pipe that moves back and forth like the world's slowest trombone. Just like with the trombone, the farther out the slide, the lower the pitch. So, if you find that the trumpet is too sharp, you want to pull that out. If you find that it's too flat, you want to push it in, shorten the tubing, raise the pitch, get back in tune. The default position on the trumpet is to have a little space in there. You don't want the slide all the way in, and it shouldn't be all the way out. But you want to be able to have a little bit of leeway in order to adjust the intonation of the instrument. Now, in order to play with other musicians, you have to be able to keep your instrument in tune with them to create a sonorous and beautiful sound. The benefit of being able to change the intonation on the instrument is especially clear when moving between different environments, because different temperatures in particular will affect the intonation of the instrument in particular ways. So, to demonstrate that, I'd like to start in this environment, in the studio where we're at about 72 degrees Fahrenheit. I don't know what it is Celsius, and we're going to take a tuner and make sure that my trumpet is in tune. Now, whenever possible, you should always tune the instrument to a reference note from a piano or from some other instrument because it's good to practice tuning the instrument with your ears. But for this exercise, we're going to use a tuner because it's going to make everything easier. So, let's take out the tuner.
Jay, that's a tuner or something. Jay, look at it. Come on.
Here we have our trusty tuning app. This one's called Pitch Lab. And we're going to check to see if the trumpet's in tune. Alright, as you can see, I'm a little sharp. So I'm going to take the tuning slide, move it out a little bit, and see how it goes. Perfect! Now, to demonstrate the effects of the environment on intonation, we're going to take a quick road trip to
Coney Island! It's really hot. It's about 100 degrees out here in Coney Island, New York, and the trumpet's heated up. And I have not moved the tuning slide at all. We're going to test the intonation of the horn. Here we go. As you can see, the intonation is, as we would say in Boston, wicked sharp. Now let's head back to the studio.
And we're back. Now, we can see that the hot sun at the beach increased the pitch of the instrument. I still have not touched the tuning slide from the first time we tuned it, and now I'm going to try to recreate colder temperatures in the studio to see what happens to the pitch of the instrument. First, we're going to turn the air conditioner up to its maximum power. Then, I'm going to put my trumpet in the freezer while we wait for the room to cool down. I don't know exactly what's going to happen, so don't try this at home. Alright, it's starting to get pretty cool in here. Let's go get the horn. Icy cold. Alright, now that we've brought down the temperature of the room and the temperature of the horn, let's see what it does to the intonation. As expected, flat as a pancake. Now, as you can see, as I continue to blow air through the horn and bring the temperature of the instrument up, the pitch also will increase. So, as we can see from our experiments, bringing the horn into the hot sun increased the pitch of the instrument, whereas bringing it into the cooler air brought the pitch of the instrument down and made it flat. Now, this is something to keep in mind for if you're going outside to play in the summertime, outdoors, or if you're going to play pep band gigs with a football game, that the sun can bring the temperature of the instrument up and thus bring the pitch up. Whereas if you're going out to play holiday parades or you're playing in the wintertime outdoors, it'll actually bring the pitch down. Now, the way to compensate for that is just to move the tuning slide in whatever direction it needs to be in order to keep the instrument in tune. There's a misconception that the reason the pitch of the instrument changes is because the material of the instrument, the brass, is expanding or contracting with the weather. However, you would expect that in the cold air, the instrument would contract, and therefore it would shorten the instrument and bring the pitch up. Whereas in the hot air, it would expand the instrument, expand the brass, and bring the pitch down. However, what we're really dealing with is the temperature of the air inside the trumpet. So, depending on the nature of the air inside the trumpet, the way that the molecules are moving around, it changes the way that the sound waves move through the instrument, thus making it sharp in the heat or flat in the cold. Now, this is all something to keep in mind if you're ever going to be playing outside and with a band, so that the band sounds like a band and it's a musical experience and it doesn't sound like a cacophonous mess with everybody out of tune. Alright, so you just want to remember, you move the tuning slide back and forth, get it into tune. One thing that is really helpful is if you're going to be playing outdoors, especially when it's cooler out, is just to keep air moving through the trumpet. By continually blowing air through the trumpet, you keep the instrument at a solid 98.6 degrees Fahrenheit, and it'll make sure that the instrument stays at the same tuning. So everybody will be right on point wandering around outside in the wilderness. All right, thanks very much. I hope this was helpful. A little tip on intonation. And once again, I am Bobby Spellman for Spellman Music Studios, and we will see you next time. Now, just like with the trombone, the farther out the slide, you're gonna have to, terrible. We're going to do it again. Super hot out here.